Welcome to This Explainer. I want you to just close your eyes for a second. Imagine you're sitting around a campfire, right? The woods are pitch black, the air is freezing, and you're about to hear a story that gives me genuine chills. We all know the 1976 classic horror film, The Omen. But the true story? It isn't on the screen at all. It's the real-life nightmare that haunted the actual casting crew. So did they wake up something evil? We usually tell ourselves that horror movies are just fake blood and actors playing pretend. But what if making a movie about the devil actually brought a real, unexplainable darkness right to their doorsteps? What if just filming it invited something totally sinister in? Because as it turns out, the horror absolutely didn't stop when the director shouted cut. Actually, that was really just the beginning. The real-life nightmares that stalked the actors and producers were, honestly, far more terrifying than anything put on the silver screen. Let's look at the facts. Chapter 1. Lightning strikes from above. The terrifying warnings actually began thousands of feet in the air. Lead actor Gregory Peck was flying on a regular commercial plane to London to work on the film, and out of nowhere, a blinding strike of lightning hit his plane. But wait, it gets crazier. Just a few days later, executive producer Harvey Bernard was on a completely different flight. And you guessed it, his plane was also struck directly by lightning. Two massive strikes, two totally different planes, the two top men working on the exact same horror movie. So, was this a clear warning from the universe? Think about the absolute terrifying mathematical odds here. Two major figures from the same film hit by lightning in midair just days apart. It really makes you ask, was something darker actively trying to stop this film from being made? Chapter 2. The horrific, fatal crash. Now this is the most tragic, undeniable part of the entire curse. It centers on special effects supervisor John Richardson. He designed one of the most shocking moments in the 1976 movie, a groundbreaking decapitation scene caused by a sliding sheet of glass. But man, the dark energy of that fake death seemed to literally follow him off the set. While working on a later project in Holland, Richardson and his assistant, Liz Moore, were involved in a brutal, head-on collision. And in a horrifying, almost mirror image of his own movie work, Liz Moore was tragically killed in the exact same manner as the movie character he designed. A sliding piece of metal in the wreck caused a fatal injury. The horror literally became real. And it gets even more chilling. When John crawled from that bloody wreckage, he looked up and saw a road sign standing in the distance. The sign simply read, Omen, 66 kilometers. Omen, 6-6. Incredibly close to the mark of the beast. Just imagine the absolute freezing terror running through his mind right then. Chapter 3. A narrow, deadly escape. It felt like unseen danger constantly wrapped its arms around this production, missing them by mere inches. The core creative crew originally booked a small, private, chartered plane to get some aerial shots, but at the very last minute, the schedule changed. The flight company swapped out the aircraft, giving the crew's specific plane to a regular commercial flight carrying other passengers. And here is the truly grim reality of that swap. Shortly after taking off, that exact plane, the very one the Omen crew was supposed to be sitting in, suffered a massive mechanical failure. It crashed directly onto a road, 0 survivors. Every single person on board perished. If that schedule hadn't changed at the absolute last second, the entire core crew would have been wiped out. Chapter 4. Nature turns incredibly hostile. It seriously felt like nature itself violently rejected this production. Usually trained movie animals are perfectly safe, right? But during this shoot, the baboons used in one scene became genuinely terrified and wildly aggressive. This wasn't acting, it was pure panicked terror. And a day after wrapping up his work, a highly trained handler was shockingly attacked by a tiger. It's like the animals sensed something deeply, deeply wrong. Chapter 5. Coincidence or Dark Reality. We really have to step back and look at the whole picture here. Gregory Peck survives a lightning strike. Harvey Bernhardt survives a lightning strike. Producer Mace Neufeld's hotel was randomly bombed by the IRA while he was staying there. And then there's John Richardson's absolutely fatal mirrored car crash. It forms a heavy, terrifying pattern that is just incredibly hard to ignore. This danger, it stalked them before, during, and well after production. Now sure, no one died directly in front of the rolling cameras on set, But these fatal and near-fatal accidents tightly surrounded the 1976 production, like some kind of dark cloud that just wouldn't leave them alone. And the crew? They felt the dark presence themselves. Executive producer Harvey Bernhard actually openly admitted it. He said the devil was actively working to stop the movie. When the very people living through it make chilling admissions like that, man, it makes the hair on your arms stand straight up. Think about the lightning, the horrific crashes, the violent animals, those narrow escapes from death. Are all of these things just a random string of very, very bad luck? Or are some topics simply too dark for Hollywood to be playing around with? So I'll leave you with this. Coincidence or a dark reality?